Hi, let's start with the box. The card box that I showed you earlier is a wraparound with a little box made here to hold the cards. So we will start with a piece of shaded spruce that is 10 1/4 by 6. So it's 10 1/4 this way by 6. And I've scored it at 4 1/2 and 5 5/8. So I've done that with my scoring blade on my trimmer. So you can see that by turn it over, 4 1/2 there, and then 5 5/8 there. So when you have that scored and burnish it with your bone folder, you have the wraparound box started. Okay, so that is your base. Then we come to the next piece, which I've pre-done a few things on it, but it is 11 by 3 3/4. And along the 11-inch side, it is scored at, see if you can see it here, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, 7 3/4, 8 3/4, and then turned on the 3 3/4 side and scored at 1 inch down this side. After burnishing the score marks, I took my paper snips and went up, trimmed up to that score line, and took out just a smidgen of paper like that so that it's going to fold up neatly. And once that's done, I will put tear and tape on these flaps, and I've discovered that sometimes, see what happens? Sometimes it's better off to use scissors than it is to actually tear that. So that is what I'm going to do on this piece, this side. And then I will notice I don't use my good paper snips on this either, because I find that sometimes I certainly end up with adhesive on the scissors, and I don't want that on my good paper snips. So let's try that again and see if I can get it off properly this time. There. So when I'm finished, what I want, I'll just show you on this one, is a nice box with this piece on the outside. So I am going to just tuck this in like that, and the same idea on this side. These pieces are going to go in, and it is going to adhere onto here. So to do that, I am going to put liquid glue and have it placed, and it will have to sit for a few minutes, but that's okay, because I'm going to put some designer paper on the outside. And because it's movable like that, you can make sure it's right down on the bottom, and you want to stand it like that. It's a little bit more accurate, and make sure that you've got enough room in from that side, well, not quite that much room, so you can close the box around it. And there is the base of your box. So I'm going to just use my bone folder inside there. Make sure that's right. Then I will piece of ribbon, I think about 24 inches. And my paper is just a stack if I get the right pieces here. That's 12, so about double that. Maybe just a little bit more. And this ribbon is a two-tone ribbon, so I really like using it because it'll pick up whatever color. And before I put it on though, I am going to put on my Forever Greenery paper, which is 5.5 by 4. So it gives you a nice layer on the front. And you certainly could use either side of the paper. So that it's a bit wider border than when we make cards. And because I want to apply firm pressure, I'll just flatten it like that. So that is on. I'm going to put the ribbon in half and attach it there with a glue dot. Just about the center. So now, in effect, you could tie your ribbon. And we'll proceed on to the rest of the decorating. This piece that I have cut at 4 by 2 1/4 will go on here. You can go. Just so that it all matches. And on the front, for your greeting, I would layer a piece 3 3/4 by 2 3/8, and just however, if you want it straight, if you want it at an angle. I tend to, I like the way that one's at an angle. And as I said in the instructions for this kit, please feel free to use whatever you have on hand, your colors, and it will make it yours. You can make, I just happen to have 2 different greens here that I'm using, but you could certainly use any colors that you have designer paper to go with. And if you've been around Stampin' Up! For a while, you know that we have lots of designer paper to go with any colors. So then, next step for the case would be your greeting. And I have done a variety of them here to show you it can be anything. Your friendship is a blessing. True friendships is one of God's greatest gifts. May your birthday be memorable. Wouldn't that be great to give someone for a birthday gift the box and the cards that are going to go in it? And just a happy birthday. So I think on mine, I am going to put this friendship one, and I'm not using any dimensionals for a raised effect on this particular one. So I would put that on, and once I had my cards made, which I will do in separate videos for you, I would just take that ribbon and tie it in a bow, and it would be ready to go. So if you look at that and decide that you could certainly do a number of those things for gift giving for this holiday season. So thanks for joining me, and I will be back shortly with the card making video.